Hey everyone, welcome again to my channel. Today I'm taking you with me to a very special moment in my writing career because I'm taking you with me to my very first author reading. It's translated literally from Dutch, auteurslezing. So my author reading, my author presentation moment, however you will call it, before school. And it was very special for a lot of reasons, but I'll tell you more about that later. First of all, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome to Quillscene. My name is Megan. If you like things that have to do with reading, with writing, with Wicca, with geeky stuff, with my journey as a writer, then you're in the right place. Make sure to click on the magical subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell, because on that way you'll always get a notification whenever I upload a new video. But yeah, it's time to go back to November 2023 for my first author reading ever. So yeah, it's quite an emotional moment for me to talk about, because it was always been one of my big writer dreams, goals when I started out as a writer. So excuse my rambling, because I will have to say so much. It's so a lot. I have to share a lot of information. So to start off, here in Belgium, we have an organization that is called Literatuur Vlaanderen, or Literature Flanders, which is like the Dutch-speaking part of Belgium, because, you know, Belgium has like a Dutch-speaking part and a French-speaking part. And they are actually an organization that backs up authors, no matter what genre. But they, you know, do a lot of projects with writers. They do a lot of it also has a lot to do with how do we say that in English? Like you can send in a whole dossier, and if they pick you, you get a scholarship thing that you get money to, you know, put towards the writing of a certain book. But it are all complicated procedures. So yeah, that's Literatuur Vlaanderen. But they also have a side project called Auteurslezingen, which is author readings, literally translated. And that's basically a website / portal / sub-organization from Literatuur Vlaanderen, which basically is a list of the how do I approved authors, because again you have to it's actually a list of authors that people from schools, from libraries, from other cultural organizations can book for a reading. And then it's of course with payment. So the thing is that when you book a reading through auteurslezingen, or author readings, it works the author asks a certain amount of money for that reading, and Literatuur Vlaanderen always gives the organization a discount of €100 that they pay. So it's a discount for them that they then give the organization that wants to host that reading. Which is of course very handy for such organizations, especially if they have to work with a fixed budget. But as I said, it is not easy always to get on the approved list of Literatuur Vlaanderen. So what I had to do as a writer is I had to, of course, work out not a big dossier, but still I had to know, you know, write the motivation. Why did I want to be on the authors list? What was I planning to do in a reading? Did I do workshops? What was I going to do on the workshops? So I had to, you know, give them a lot of information. And then of course, the main thing, and that's where a lot of people usually like, trip over, is you have to you have to show Literatuur Vlaanderen en auteurslezingen that you have a regular contract with a regular publisher. And that's something that is always, a bit hard sometimes to prove, because not every publisher that is out there gives you the right contract, because Literatuur Vlaanderen, as the one of the entities to say in Belgium when it comes to writing and literature, they are one of the parties that actually designed the standard contract for writers. So they have like, and it's not like one or two, 3 pages. No, it's like this thick of a contract that, discusses every little thing in percentages of payment to author, to publisher, to what happens if someone takes an option for a TV program or a film or whatever. So everything is bundled in that contract. And they only work with people who can present a contract that is set standard contract or has the main points from that standard contract. So a lot of indie authors who do self-publishing, for example, or if you are a writer that is with a publisher that doesn't give you a good contract, those people won't be allowed at the approved list of auteurslezingen. Though I have to say, from the time that I myself became, when I self-signed up to try to get on the list, until now that I'm filming this voiceover, they have changed a bit of their criteria, so that they also, open the door a bit for people who do self-publishing. But again, there are like a really long list of rules and criteria to follow. So yeah, it depends on author to author. But as I said, I decided to take my chances, because it has always been like a big dream of my own to, if I became a writer, to one day do author readings at schools, because that's also how I myself got the writing bug, because I became interested in writing when I was about 10 years old in 5th grade, after a workshop, writing poetry for Poetry Day. And after that, I just started writing and kept writing. And I'm still convinced if I didn't have that workshop that day, at that moment, I wouldn't be the writer I was today. I think I wouldn't even have started with writing. So yeah, that was kind of my motivation. And I worked out, as I said, not my big dossier, but my motivation and what I wanted to do and stuff like that. I worked everything out and sent in also my contracts that I had for my books and everything in the beginning of 2023. And then I eventually got an email at the beginning of July, if I'm not mistaken, that I was approved and that I was now a part of the approved list of auteurslezingen, and that people could, book me for an author reading. So I was very happy with that. And so I started also to, post that on my social media, on my website. I also decided to, mail some schools already that I had contacts with, in case they wanted to host an author reading. And the thing is, I just told you about how I got my own writing bug from the workshop when I was 10 years old in 5th grade. That was in my own elementary school that is like 3 streets, if not. No, not even 3 streets. It's like in my backyard, to say. And that's where I got that workshop and where I got the writing book. So I figured, you know, I'm going to send him an email. If it's not this year, maybe it's something for next year. Until my surprise, the director of the school mailed back and she said, you know, we still have some budget left. We didn't have an author yet. So it would be really cool to have you speak to our students from 5th and 6th grade about your books, how you started with writing and everything. Maybe it inspires them too. So my very, very first author reading ever was in my own elementary school, where I got a writing book. So that was like a nice full circle moment. I was really nervous because, again, it was my very first reading ever. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I could, you know, because it are like 10, 11, 12-year-olds, an entire group, because it was 5th grade and 6th grade. I think it was about 40 students, and then of course the teachers. So I was a bit nervous to see, you know, can I captivate them, because I got a slot for 2 hours to speak. So yeah, I tried a bit of everything. I of course told them about my books, well, how I started with, who I started with writing. I told them about my books. I showed them my brand new book trailer that I had from my first book. I read a scene from Music Academy 1. We also did a quiz that I had put together to, because in my book of Music Academy, the students have also to do a test to determine to which inspiration line of the 9 muses they belong. And I had transformed that scene from the book into a little quiz, so that they also discovered to which inspiration line they belonged, so that they would be ready to, you know, go to Music Academy. And after that, at the end of the reading, there was also a little signing moment, and even a moment, because I had checked with the school before if they wished for a book sale afterwards or not. So the kids could, you know, the kids had gotten like a paper or a mail with them to the parents to say our local author is coming to the school, and you can buy her books if you want to, so that they could, you know, pre-order said books. And I must say that a few of them were already in pre-order, so those I had already with me the moment of the reading. But the fun part was that afterwards I still had to write like 2 times back to the school to bring new ordered books, and the school itself also bought my books for their school library. And when I then went back to the school, you know, to always drop off the new ordered books, the director said that the books were so popular that there was like a waiting list for people and for the kids to read them, and that they even were like talking on the playground about my books and everything. So yeah, that was really, really fun. So yeah, my mom was with me. That's why I got some footage, of course, of the reading, because as I was talking and yeah, interactive with the kids, I of course couldn't film. But yeah, my mom did some filming and made some pictures. The most memorable part of the entire thing, and I must say I almost cried on the moment itself, was during the signing moment. Well, no, it was already before that actually, because one of the girls from 5th grade, her name was Helena, she had like come to me in between like the questions in between. She had like hinted already that she back home she had a notebook where she was also writing a story in, and not just a short story, a real long story, and that she always every night she worked on it after her homework. And it was like, oh, you're a little me, because it was so, you know, yeah, it kind of was like I was talking to little me, 10-year-old me that just had gotten the poetry workshop, and it was so yeah, again, full circle moment. And after my reading, Helena was, you know, standing in line too, because I had like these little postcards that I got for the people who didn't buy a book, so that I could, you know, at least sign, you know, to, from, and then, you know, sign something, so that they had like a little, you know, memento of the reading. And the moment that Helena came to me, she said, I want you to sign it for Helena, my successor. And I was like, oh, you're so cute. And then she added, like, because now after your reading and talking to you, I know for sure I want to be a writer when I grow up. And the director, like the next week when I brought, you know, the 2nd order of books and the 3rd order of books, she also said, yeah, the kids kept talking about your reading, and a lot of them have been starting to develop like stories and stuff like that. So yeah, it was very, very intense, very full circle, as I said, and it just, you know, universe aligned kind of like way that I got to do my first author reading ever on my own, at my own elementary school, where I caught the writing bug and then basically met little me again, because I told Helena, who knows, maybe in 20 years, you're the one standing here doing an author reading. It is possible. I mean, it's my story. Why can't it be yours too? So yeah, there was a really cool moment. And as I said, that afternoon on Tuesday, the 21st of November, 2023, I cherish it in my heart forever, and I will never forget it, because it was such a magical experience, really. But yeah, that was it already for this video. Well, already I think it was quite a long video, if I'm not mistaken. I rambled a lot. Sorry again for that. But yeah, that was for this video. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up or a comment down below. Both help my channel grow, and I appreciate it always when you leave a comment. I try to reply when I have the time. But yeah, hopefully I see you guys soon for another bookish, magical, probably on the go video. Bye!